Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Castle FM Cape Coast, Laura FM Laura, and Radio Max Takrade. Get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, former Auditor General Daniel Domlevo takes on office of the president for violating the country's constitution after the Supreme Court described his forced leave as unconstitutional.
The office of the president, which is the highest office of the state, is the one who is at the forefront of doing unconstitutional things.
Also, 9 million SIM cards deactivated this morning as deadline for re-registration ends.
You'll not be able to make a call. You'll not be able to receive a call. You will not be able to send an SMS, but the operators will be able to send you SMSs.
We have details as hundreds massed about the NIA in a desperate attempt to get their Ghana cards in business.
Cost of doing business expected to witness marginal increase as utility tariffs go up. Today, details on the Joy Business Report.
Also, ECG bashed persons who reconnected themselves after being taken off the grid over illegal connections, as the company says it will prosecute all perpetrators.
Some had been disconnected in the earlier drive, but then they have decided to reconnect themselves, so we disconnected again.
I am Amiesi Thompson. Details shortly. In our first story, former Auditor General Daniel Domlevo has lashed out at the office of the president for breaching the constitution. His comments come in the wake of the Supreme Court's judgment that's described as unconstitutional, the directive for him to proceed on leave in July 2020. Speaking on Joy News, Mr. Domlevo insisted the highest office of the nation ought to know and act better.
The office of the president, which is the highest office of the state, is the one who is at the forefront of doing unconstitutional things or breaching the constitution of the country. And I will advise that going forward, that office should respect the constitution and the laws of the country. But I'm also happy that the verdict has finally come and it confirms or vindicates my position.
Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at CDD, Dr. Kojo Asante, is concerned the court took so long to resolve this matter.
To expedite the process, and in some cases, just drags its feet, for a long time. I think we have to address these things because it affects the delivery of justice and the reputation of the judicial system. If it is seen as, well, it's not applied fairly and consistently. And there has to be a reason. Even if it's going to be a delay, there has to be a reason.
Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement at the CDD, Dr. Kojo Asante Pomponi. Now, if you haven't been able to make or receive calls, send text messages or make financial transactions this morning, it's most likely you're one of the 9 million subscribers whose SIM cards have been blocked by the National Communications Authority for not having re-registered it. According to the Chamber of Telecommunications, this figure includes SIM cards which have only gone through one of the required stages of the re-registration process and those that have not been linked to the Ghana card. Dr. Ken Ashipe is CEO of the Chamber of Telecommunications.
You'll not be able to make a call. You'll not be able to receive a call. You will not be able to send an SMS, but the operators will be able to send you SMSs. And then you will still obtain access to be able to dial your star 404 to be able to do your SIM registration should you get your Ghana card. So, but the thing about it is that there is no time limit to that. The NTA studying it could come a day or two after and say, okay, if you don't, you're blocked.
Well, hundreds yesterday massed up at the National Identification Authority in a desperate attempt to get their Ghana cards, the key document required to complete the re-registration. But some said they still weren't able to access the cards.
I'm coming from Winneba.
Have you registered your SIM card?
Not yet. I've not, because I've not received my Ghana card.
How long has this been?
That was 2020 when I registered. I've not received my card up to now. So I've been going. They'll keep on telling me they are working on it. The card is missing at the headquarters. I have to go and come. All of a sudden, last week I went, they said I have to come to the head office. I should tell them that my Ghana card is missing.
Basically, I didn't take the Ghana card seriously, but it's now that it has come to an emergency that they have to come for.
The problem now is I've gone through all this process and I'm done with everything. I've made the payment twice. The first one, I wasn't able to get a code. After 2 weeks now, they said they cannot find my card over there.
Well, the National Identification Authority says it is working to ensure that all eligible applicants get their cards. The authority has also assured that complaints about double payments for cards will be investigated. Away from that, the Electricity Company of Ghana, Tema Region, says it has identified some individuals and companies who reconnected themselves after being taken off the grid due to illegal connections. The ECG says it has summoned the suspects and is taking steps to surcharge them. Now, Sechua Mensah is PRO for the ECG Tema Region.
Today we continue the exercise. We chanced on some customers who had to be disconnected because they owe the company. They had not paid up yet. Some had been disconnected in the earlier drive, but then they had decided to reconnect themselves. So we disconnected again. In some instances, we had to seize their service cables as well. Some have been asked to report to the Tema Regional Office, that's the Revenue Protection Unit of the Tema Regional Office, for onward processing.
87 illegal miners who illegally entered an underground pit belonging to Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi have exited and have been handed over to the police. They include 16 others who were arrested in their fresh attempt to enter the underground mine pit in the middle of Mili. Ohim Interior of our security desk, who pitched camp in Obuasi, has more on the following report.
They were not trapped willingly. Eno muko hose omoko pe omanu aduane abedi na unfortunately no one their part no baby omofa wurom no me say mine no so leadership no ehuye ena omoko sili ho omoko kata baby omofa wurom no ano na say they can no go back where they went through. The only alternative way umuwoye so omasan pass it through the mine tunnel inside the mine, and also obviously impossible. Upia na just over to the mine security.
We'll stay a while longer in the Ashanti region. A chain of mechanic shops have been ravaged by fire at Asokwa in the Ashanti region last night. At least 6 vehicles, several engines and upholstery materials were destroyed. Ohim Interior again with this report.
It is not clear what started the fire. A Joy News team returning from a trip to Obuasi stopped over and called the fire service hotline. Shop owners hailed the swift response from personnel of the fire service. The intervention was boosted by a downpour. Divisional Officer Grade 2, Nicholas Opoku Akins, is the Ashanti Regional Operations Officer of the fire service. He says the rains affected the work of the fire service positively.
We've assessed the devastation over here. You could see that now the place is dark. So we can't come out with the actual cause of the fire right now. So tomorrow early in the morning, the crew that were on duty will come assess everything and look at the possible or probable causes of the fire and find the actual cause of the fire. Generally, when it rains, it reduces the extent of fire spread.
And to Tech Thursday, a study of over 132,000 tweets by computer science students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has found that Ghanaians react intently to poor performances and largely nonchalant to good ones. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah speaks with the lead researcher, Michael Ishen.
Michael Ishen analyzed sentiments on Ghanaian football matches during the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
I created a Twitter developers account to generate API keys in which I can use in streaming the tweets. So we got 132,000 tweets, approximately. The actual number is 132,115. And then we realized that most of the tweets, some of the tweets were retweets and also duplicate tweets. And then we kind of filtered those tweets out, the noise in the tweets. And we actually got 115,000, approximately 115,000 tweets. We actually used 3 tools, the test blob, Veda, and then Roberta. Well, we realized that Ghanaians really kind of react to negative performance or to poor performance. They react very intense compared to positive or good performance.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
And that's how we end the 6 a.m. bulletin. In the top story, you heard former Auditor General Daniel Domelevo take on the office of the president for violating the country's constitution after the Supreme Court described his forced leave as unconstitutional. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Stay tuned for more on the Super Morning Show.
Samuel Dowona is vice dean of